Welcome back to the channel. I haven't posted anything in a while, and I promised you to make a new video on my 1/12 scale 1957 Chevrolet Bel Airs that I built from the Monogram kit, and this here is one of them. This Chevy was in fact a restoration job I did on a kit I bought already built. It was red and had lots of wear on the chrome, so I had to outclad the bumpers. And while I was there, I made those little bumper guards out of epoxy putty, and I made them for the front and for the rear. Also, I printed Brazilian plates from the 1970s, because this model represents a used car, and also a dealer tag. Painted the model with automotive paint. It's synthetic enamel, airbrushed with a Chinese copy of a Badger 350. The front glass I didn't have, so I had to make it out of acetate. The white walls were kind of yellow, so I repainted those. Also added valve steams to the wheels. Let me show you guys the other side. Here's the other side. And here you have a helper. This is Lindsay, my beautiful head. And no girl, you can stay there. Well, the interior is the silver and black option. Originally it was all black when I got the kit, and let's show you guys the engine. The engine has some dirt, some dust, some wear and tear, and also some recent maintenance parts like hoses and battery, and work done to the fuel injection and a new master brake cylinder and wiper engine. You can see the paint kind of coming off from parts like the heater engine and the valve covers. Well, let's try to show you guys the underside of this car. It's a little big, but let's do it. Here you have a general view on the underside. I painted it to replicate a dirty car that was very common in the 70s. People here in Brazil used to pulverize the underside of the car with a automatic transmission fluid, and most roads were dirt roads, and that thing would stick on the car. Also, I tried to replicate some dust on the tires, on the inner part of the tire at least, and some rust from the heat on the exhaust, the little oil leak that a used car would have, like you can see here. Also on the transmission. And when we are going to areas where the exhaust gets colder, the corrosion gets a little different on the exhaust. And here I made a little rust hole here showing the spare. And you can still see that the gas tank was silver and the straps were black. The underside was painted with the reddish brown primer GM used on those cars when they were new. And thus I try to replicate the feeling of a 1957 car as she would be in the 1975-1976 period, if the car were very well treated and very well kept. And that's what I tried with this car. It's a really big model. I wish someone would make a 1/12 scale model of my favorite car from the 50s, the 57 Ford Fairlane Club Victoria, the Fairlane 500 Club Victoria. I would buy a ton of those. Well, up to the next. Well guys, this is the second Chevy Bel Air. It's a little different. This one I bought from a friend of mine, and this one was also featured on my first video on those cars. When I originally featured this car, she had Krager SS wheels and the blower, and what else? And I think a different exhaust and bucket seats. This car also had some quite serious wear on the chrome, but this one I just foiled the worst parts of the chrome. And this is not the hood I plan to keep on this car, as this one is the hood that doesn't have the chrome trim emblems here. This is the one that has the hole for the blower, and I made a poor job, and you can still see where the hole was. I just repainted the hood, and I have a correct hood without the hole. Look, that was just a poor job to close that big hole. But don't worry, I have the correct hood and I'll install here. The car had the blower, and the engine was not stock, and it's not stock either. I had to use a different intake manifold and different carburetors and different fan shroud and a radiator on the position that's not stock and things like that. And I plan on copying the parts to make the engine all stock again from one of the virgin kits I have. I still have a lot of those. I used to buy everything every time I saw one of those Monogram 1/12 scale Bel Airs. When I used to see one, I used to buy it because I'm a huge fan of this kit. And I'll make copies, resin copies of the parts missing here, like all the fuel injection, intake and setup, and I will reinstall the radiator on the right place. And all those parts here I found them on my parts box, and I guess they are from a Monogram 69 Camaro. So this engine is not even close to stock. The inside is all black, and it's missing the horn ring that I'm still trying to find one. If I can't find one with any of my friends, I'll make a resin copy and just paint it with Alclad. I also have to make a resin copy of the rear part of the seat, of the front bench seat. So this car is in fact a work in progress. The rest of the paint, the rest of the paint was not done by me, it was done by my friend. And I think he did a great job. And he was kind enough to give me the same paint he used, so I repainted the hood, and I still have enough to paint a correct hood that will have the trim pieces here. The underside of this car is also a little dirty, but it was not mine doing, and I'll leave it just like it is. I like it the way it is. My friend made the exhaust from scratch. I guess the material he used is copper tubing. That tubing used to make brake lines on 1/1 scale cars, and he also made those cool glass packs. The transmission is the 4-speed original to the kit, and the engine is the original to the kit. He added those disc brakes on the front, and I guess they are from a Corvette, a 1/12 scale Corvette, I don't know. The only painting I did on the underside of this car was to make the tires dirty on the inside, so they would be adequate to the rest, as the car didn't have those tires. It had the modern radials. The front end is a little low compared to the rear end, but all in all, it's a nice job. There in the interior, I believe you can see the shifter for the 4-speed. And I'll try to fix the interior to look better with the horn ring and with the back of the bench seat. So, oops, work in progress here, guys. And when I have the correct hood, I will eliminate those pins here to keep the hood in place. Well, up to the third back. Well, this is the third Bel Air I have. Also monogram kit, 1/12 scale. And this is kind of a mix. The body, it's from the Revell re-edition of the kit, as is the chrome. But the rest is all monogram. It's complicated, don't even ask. The paint was done by me, and this one is not automotive. This is Tamiya TS14 from the spray can, and I used a lot of spray cans to paint this car. I got the Revell re-edition because the Revell kit has this very cool decals for the side badges that I think are awesome, and also has this very nice decal here for the front badge. Again, the license plate is Brazilian, but it is a contemporary license plate. This car, when I built it, I wanted to build my dream 57 Bel Air. It would be just like this one, onyx black, fuel injected, black, red and black interior. You can see on the floor the car has real carpeting that I added, foil everywhere. I also added those quarter windows. Here the other side. Those cars are big, hard to make a video. I think the paint is an 8 out of 10. And it's from spray cans, not airbrushed. The chrome is all homemade foil. Interior shots again. This kit also came with the decals for the instruments that the older Monogram didn't. Let's take a look under the hood. Under the hood, I try to keep things 100% factory stock. That's the way I like it. This is the stock Chevy 283 V8, fuel injected. I added a lot of detail to this engine, a lot of little hoses and vacuum lines to make it look better. But I also didn't go crazy on the detailing like some people can do, and I admire people that go crazy detailing a lot, but I just can't. I don't have the patience. So this is the Chevy V8. As you can see, completely stock. Let's take a look on the underside of this beast. Wait a minute. This paint, as it's not automotive, is a little more fragile. and will scratch easier. So let's use a little cloth. So here we are. This is the underside. I'm holding it because it wants to flip. I tried to simulate a completely factory fresh 57 Chevy that was never restored. And that's what I did here. I used the Revell reddish brown. That's almost a perfect match for the primer that both GM and Ford used at this time. And I hand painted the frame rails with a brush. No leaks yet. Too new of a car. No dirt on tires or anything like that. Like I told you, this is my dream find. 57 Chevy. A brand new car. And not restored. As I always thought, that once you restore a car, it's no longer an antique car. It's a new car that looks old. So this one is the third Chevy. Guys, I hope you liked this new video on this 57 Chevys, and thank you very much for watching.